Well, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you're listening. Welcome back to Neuronest, Navigating Disabilities. I'm your host, Natalie Beezer, where we reimagine what thriving looks like for neurodivergent families. In today's episode, we are celebrating strengths in a diagnosis-focused world. It's personal, it's powerful, and it's one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn on this journey. How to see strength in a world that keeps pointing out the deficits. When the world sees the label and not the light. From the moment that you hear a diagnosis, you start getting these lists, symptoms, lists of limitations, lists of challenges. But you know what you really get? Are lists of strengths. But let's name something truthfully here. The systems that surround us, like schools, healthcare, even support services, were not built to highlight what's right. They're designed to identify what needs fixing. And yet, within every label, there's a story of resilience. Behind every challenge, there is an ability being refined. The goal of this episode, my friends, is simple: to help you rebuild your lens so that you and your child can see what's already working, what's already beautiful, and what's already strong. The power of language. Language shapes identity. When we describe our child, our children, in terms of what they lack, the world mirrors that back to us, and it mirrors it back to them. But when we describe them through the lens of capability, it rewires something, first in us, then in them. So let's make a shift here. Instead of saying he doesn't make eye contact, let's try saying he connects deeply in his own way. Instead of saying she's nonverbal, let's try saying she's an incredibly visual communicator. Instead of saying he is obsessive, let's try saying he's passionate and detail-oriented. Instead of saying she's sensitive, let's try saying she's perceptive and emotionally intelligent. Language is leadership. And you, as a parent, as a grandparent, are the first person to model it. When your words celebrate strengths, your child begins to believe them. So let's talk a little bit about strength-based parenting, a faith-aligned practice. In Psalm 139, verse 14, it says, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. That truth doesn't come with conditions. There is no footnote that says, unless you have autism or unless you have ADHD. Every neurotype is a reflection of divine creativity. Strength-based parenting isn't about ignoring a struggle. Absolutely not. It's about seeing God's intentional design in your child's wiring. When we highlight those designs, like attention to detail, or honesty, or creativity, or persistence, we align our parenting with faith and not fear. Practical strength, reframing exercise. Here is your 3-step Neuronest Navigating Disabilities reframing practice. You can even do this tonight. Step 1. Write the challenge. List one behavior that feels hard right now. Step 2. Identify its flip side. Ask, when might this behavior actually be a strength? Here's an example. He's hyper-focused on Legos, but that could become he has incredible concentration and spatial reasoning. Now step 3. Speak that reframe out loud. Say, This trait, it has a purpose. Whatever you're picking, this trait has a purpose. We are learning how to guide it. This simple habit trains your brain and your family to see capacity and not chaos. Let me share something from our home. One of my nieces, who lives with multiple medical and developmental diagnoses, spent years being defined by what doctors said she would never do. But what they didn't see was her unmatched empathy. The way she reads her room and knows who's hurting before anyone else says a word. That's not a limitation. That's her ministry. Our kids' strengths often show up in unexpected places, quietly, faithfully, and powerfully. So let's be honest. This work of reframing, it doesn't really come naturally. We were trained by systems that reward compliance and correct differences. But grace invites us to see things differently. When you start naming strengths, you become the antidote to a deficit-driven culture. You become the mirror that shows your child what's right about them. Even Jesus modeled this. He saw potential where others saw problems. He restored identity before he restored ability. That's what you do every time you speak life into your child. Say these words out loud. Let them anchor your mindset this week. My child's strengths are sacred, not secondary. We grow by celebrating what's right, not obsessing over what's wrong. I am equipped to see the possibility even when others can't. Our home is a place where difference is divine. So before I close, I wanted to leave you with this truth. When you focus on strengths, you shift your family story. You move from survival to stewardship. You stop fighting the diagnosis and start partnering with the design. Every strength you celebrate is a seed of future purpose. Water it daily with affirmation, grace, and faith. So, my closing reflection to you. If this episode encouraged you, share it with another family who's walking this road. Because together, we can build a world that celebrates neurodiversity, not as a challenge, but as a calling. I am your host, Natalie Beezer. Thank you for listening today. And remember, you and your child are wonderfully made. Have a wonderful, amazing, beautiful day. Peace and blessings to you.